right, folks, we are back live this Thursday, May 21st, 2009. It's the InfoWarrior with Jason Bermas. We're going to be going over a stack of news. We have Jim Newcomer coming on at the 30 after in the first hour to discuss the history of gold and silver, because as the economy continues to plummet, and by the way, they're thinking about dismantling the SEC and basically having it run by a private corporation. So it'll have even less accountability. We're going to go over that story. We're going to muse whether or not Napolitano is going to become the next Supreme Court justice. I'm going to look at a little bit of alternative technology. We talk about the solar power on this program quite a bit. Well, there's actually a 100% solar-powered stadium that was just built in Taiwan. It looks awesome, by the way. We're going to go over that story. We're going to cover in depth this New York terror plot. Late last night, I got the bunny ears on, and one of the things that is actually on at like 3:30 in the morning is World News Now by CBS or whatever. And there was some really, first of all, there's still, I heard last night on the news there have been now 9 deaths confirmed in the United States of swine flu. That's what they were saying. But then they said, oh, don't worry, we had a pandemic like this, and they showed some stock footage. And it wasn't the regular needle shot. It was that little gunshot, and they were showing everybody rolling up their sleeves and taking a little gunshot and saying, well, we might have built up an immunity if you're a certain age. And I'm like, whoa. However, that was the first time I heard about this New York terror plot. Now, what is, I don't want to pass judgment yet. Who knows, maybe these guys were bad guys, but every other case, it's been like these half-retarded dudes that have been provocatored into something, for some money. Apparently, these guys did set the quote-unquote bombs where they were supposed to go to blow up a couple of, Jewish synagogues or something like that, Jewish temples. And this time, the bombs were given to them by the FBI, but they weren't bombs. See, if that is true and these guys were dangerous, that's how you're supposed to conduct the operation. Not like they did in 93, where they made Ahmed Salam make real explosives and then carry out the attacks. So we're going to cover that in depth, really talk about it. There's a big article over at Prison Planet, New York terror plot, another government provocateur setup. And I'm not going to be surprised when that's the case. But we're going to look at it all angles. Let's see, what do we got here? We're going to talk about the Marines taking over that Georgia high school and the people that are protesting it there. What else we got? We got this. All right, so I've been contacted by this journalist, and he's really ripped apart the 9/11 truth movement quite a bit over the past couple of years. However, his latest article was a little bit more than fair and a little bit more than sympathetic. Now, no matter what happens, I'm going to give him an interview, talk to him, but he may come down to the studio. He's writing a book, and I want him on the program. That's really the only way I'm actually going to agree to it, is if he'll come in studio for an hour and do an hour, maybe even all 3 hours against me. Let's see what he's willing to do and what we set up. But this is an article on Richard Gage, a recent guest, and it's called Richard Gage, 9/11 Truther Extraordinaire. And it sounds smarmy off the top. Well, his articles were really, really smarmy. However, this one, like I said, is a little bit more than fair. I'm pretty happy with it overall from mainstream coverage. We're going to get into robot warriors and the ethics there off of MSNBC. Google is going to be in charge of these smart energy grids. Isn't that nice? All your power. Oh, you used a little too much power. Let's cut you off, Google style. You can't make this stuff up. We're going to be talking about that. We're going to be talking about those 5 officers that beat that suspect unconscious. He was already unconscious. His car had flipped. It's amazing the man was alive after that car accident. Came through a window, and they just started wailing on him. Was the guy a criminal? Yes. Should he have run? No. But did he need to get beat to a bloody pulp after he was ejected from a car and became unconscious? I'm going to go with probably not. It's the InfoWarrior with Jason Bermas, PrisonPlanet.tv, Infowars.com.
The good old folks at New Silver Solution. And the website is supernaturalsilver.com. Supernaturalsilver.com. This is something that kills bacteria, viruses, you name it, well documented. They've got it down to a super small, nano-sized particle. Supernaturalsilver.com. Check them out at InfoWars.com. Supernaturalsilver.com.
The InfoWarrior with Jason Bermas. We're going to take your calls, 866-582-9933. That's 866-582-9933. I thought this story was pretty interesting. Wasn't one I mentioned before, but FCC can search home without a warrant, agency says. This all stems from a 1934 law, by the way. Do you have a Wi-Fi router? If you do, and it uses an unlicensed frequency, you could be the subject to a warrantless search of your home. Warrantless searches, wireless frequencies. FCC guidelines stipulate that the agency can enter property when it suspects radio frequency energy is being abused. The provision, which was originally intended to aid in monitoring of unlicensed radio and TV stations, now has a broad range of applications as more customers join the Wi-Fi ranks. Anything using RF energy, we have the right to inspect and make sure it is not causing interference, FCC spokesperson David Fisk told Wired for an article Thursday. The FCC spokesman said the scope would include Wi-Fi routers. The FCC claims it derives its warrantless search power from the Communications Act of 1934, though the constitutionality of the claim has gone untested in courts. That's largely because the FCC had little to do with the average citizen for most of the last 75 years, when home transmitters were largely reserved to ham radio operators and CB radio aficionados. But in 2009, nearly every household in the United States has multiple devices that use radio waves and fall under the FCC's purview, making the Commission's claimed authority ripe for a court challenge. And it needs to be challenged because it's unbelievable to me that they could come in and search your home based on something like this. What else we got? I thought this story was interesting. I'm not quite sure where it's going, but it shows you that the government seems to have lost something. And I'm sure a bunch of actual conspiracy theories are going to arise out of this. But, what the validity of them will be, who knows? U.S. National Archives offer reward for missing hard drive. The U.S. National Archives on Wednesday said it is offering 50 G's for information leading to the recovery of a missing hard drive that contains personal information of former Clinton administration staff and visitors. The small portable hard drive was being kept as a backup for National Archives, explained in a question and answer document on its website. It held copies of about 113 4mm tape cartridges of snapshots of hard drive contents of employees who left the executive office of the president. Because the staff maintained White House entry information and electronic address books, the external drive contains personally identifying information, including names and social security numbers of staff and visitors to the White House complex during the Clinton administration. So 50 G's for this, and they're putting it out to the public. It's pretty bizarre. Definitely worth looking into. Now I want to play this clip here of this guy, for all the PrisonPlanet.tv subscribers out there, of this guy who flips. All right, listen, again, he's a criminal. He's a bad guy. Cops aren't doing anything wrong until after the car flips over, throws him out the window, and he just takes a Bobby beatdown, let me tell you. I mean, he really takes a bruising. Hit the clip. All right, so we're driving along. Oh, you're about to get pulled over. Oh, there's the strips. Ooh, see, he did almost kill a guy right there. I'm not going to lie. Did almost just kill a guy. Almost ran a guy over. And here he goes. He's off onto the highway. He's moving. By this point, his tires are probably giving out because he did go over the strips. All right, now, again, he did just almost kill a guy. Oh, flips, one flip, two. Oh, he's out of the car. Boom, unconscious. Completely unconscious. Now, one billy club, two billy clubs, kick. Beat down, billy club, fist. Billy club, fist, kick. Billy club, punch to the face. It's a wonder that this guy did survive. And they did fire these guys. They need to be prosecuted for it, unfortunately. Listen, I know your adrenaline's going a mile a minute. This guy is an undesirable dude. He just almost killed a person who you work with, who's your friend. But that is not how you act, especially when you're an officer of the law. What are you thinking? The man the horrific nature of the car crash itself is absolutely unbelievably ridiculous. But Again, 5 police officers were fired Wednesday for beating an unconscious suspect ejected from a car after a chase, an attack captured on patrol car videotape that didn't surface publicly for a year. So that's over a year old. Police Chief A.C. Roper said the officers, who were not identified, were seasoned veterans but acted in a shameful manner. Yes, they did. The video shows police pursuing Anthony Warren's van on January 23, 2008. One officer on foot was hurt when the van swerved through traffic. Yeah, I saw that. Again, that's the guy. He really did almost kill that guy. It overturned on a ramp, ejecting Warren, who lay motionless as officers ran toward him. The video shows them beating him with their fists, a billy club, and their feet. As an attorney representing Warren in a civil case said he was hospitalized after the chase and didn't realize he'd been beaten until a prosecutor preparing his trial requested the tape, saw the attack, and told the defense about it. Wow. Roper said the department had terminated 50 years of combined service due to 10 seconds of injustice. The officers can appeal. Well, again, just an outrageous tape.